Hi guys, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Lumen Guru, and I have your weekly energy update for the week of October 1st, and this includes the full moon on October 5th in Aries. So I'm going to speak to all of that in just a moment. I am not going to pick a traditional spread today with the cards. I'm going to use them as, excuse me, sort of confirmation validation for the things that I'm going to channel and deliver to you. That sun's really bright in the background. So, so a couple of things that I want to remind you of. So the Illumin Guru, we switched from the Twin Flame family to the Illumin Guru. Some of you are watching my older videos, and the Twin Flame family is like a community that still exists. It's within the Illumin Guru now. So if you go to the twinflamefamily.com, you'll be redirected to the illuminGuru.com. Everything else has been seamless in the transition, and the only thing that's changed is that our Facebook page has moved. So if you're liking the Twin Flame Family Facebook page, I'm not posting there anymore. So you got to go over and like the Illumined Guru, and that's where all of the news, information, daily posts, all that stuff are happening. So it's facebook.com/the Illumined Guru, and you can find the link on the website or on the channel art on YouTube. Also, we're on Instagram. Please follow us if you get a moment. Couple of announcements too. Two big announcements. Okay, so this is my 1-year anniversary with coaching, and October will be 1 year, and I wanted to do something special for all of you who have supported me along the journey, as well as those of you that are just new and finding me. So for the next week to celebrate this 1-year anniversary, so I've been on YouTube for 1.5 years, and I've been doing the coaching for 1 year, and it's huge. You guys have no idea how much I have enjoyed it and how appreciative and grateful I am for all of you for the opportunity to work with you one-on-one in private session, in the workshops. It's amazing. So to say thank you to you, I'm offering 40% off all services, no restrictions. So you can book a reading, you can book a soul coaching session, harnessing your divine feminine, and that's going to be for the first week of October. I'm going to offer that. So I wanted to let you know, when you book the session, put in the notes 40 off. So it'll just have like a little note session, and notes section. And when I invoice you, you'll see the 40% discount. So tell your friends. This is a great time to rebook if you haven't had a session in a while, or a reading, or if you've done readings and you haven't had the means to do the soul coaching. This is a great time to do that. Also, on Tuesday, October 10th, going to remind you that we have the Harnessing the Sacred Feminine workshop. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or Eastern Standard Time. And it's all about harnessing your sacred feminine, your divine feminine power, how we can do this, how we harness it, what are the qualities, and really, how do we do it? We usually don't talk about how as much, and we're going to talk about the how. So this will be a great workshop. So if you want to sign up for that, that's also on the website. So if you want to book a session or the workshop, it's theilluminguru.com, and you just click on book a session, and the classes and workshops are on a separate tab. So just click there. So that's that news, getting that out of the way. And now I'm going to talk about the energy for this week. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going into the Aries full moon on October 5th. And we also have the sun and Mercury in Libra. So there's like the opposing force of Aries and Libra. Aries is, of course, about independence, action, assertiveness, and Libra is all about balance. And so some of the things I feel like are coming up for Twin Flames, and I'll reinforce some of these messages with the cards. But so in respect to the individual, I have some notes here. So we're looking at knowing our emotional needs. Okay, so what are our emotional needs? This question's coming up a lot. Self-care, needing time for yourself. What do you need to do to nurture yourself? is also, this is also about our relationship to ourselves in these dynamics. So what's happening in the dynamics that maybe is toxic or dysfunctional, or are there addictive behaviors or behavioral patterns that are no longer serving us, or is something in our dynamic sucking too much of our energy? This is a time where we're going to evaluate that and figure out how to get balanced from within. And the balance part of this is also about balancing our inner polarities, the divine feminine and divine masculine within. And I feel like some of you who have been struggling with this for quite some months are really going to harness your balance right now. That's why this is a pivotal time to take that workshop, the Harnessing the Sacred Feminine, for those of you that are maybe expressing too much masculine but are looking to harness your divine feminine power. So this is going to cause us to clean up some of that dysfunction, to realign with our integrity and values, to self-care in the right way, and to, there's also a lot of emphasis on the communication with Mercury in Libra. So communication is big. So it's what are we predominantly expressing? And that's usually, even if we feel very feminine inside, like receptive and nurturing and sweet and kind, sometimes that's not at all what we're expressing. So there can be that can be incongruent, okay, where we're feeling one way inside, but what we're expressing or what we're giving to others, or how we're showing ourselves to the world is not congruent with what's inside of us. And then we have it mirrored back to us and we're like, wait, no, I'm really sweet, I'm really kind. And then they're like, whether it's your twin flame or anyone else, they're like, no, you're not. You're mean, or you're vicious, or you're very masculine. Oh, okay. That's where you get to see that mirror reflection of, okay, this isn't lining up. That's not really who I am. This is happening for both the feminine and the masculine, okay? So you're going to see it both ways. So feminine, you may be frustrated because the masculine is saying something and his words are not matching his actions, or his actions are not matching his words. There's that incongruency, and that could be a point of frustration for the twins. For the feminine, I feel like it's the same, but the masculine might call you out on it, or someone in your life may call you out on it in terms of, oh, you're thinking you're sweet, innocent, and kind on the inside, but you're expressing something that's more rigid or inflexible or stubborn or angry or aggressive. And that's that polarity of Aries and Libra. And this is all about finding that balance from within. And I feel like both the twins need to find that right now. The masculine's going to be more resistant to look at himself in this. He's not realizing that his actions are misaligning with his words, and that his words are misaligning with his actions. But it's going to be blaringly obvious to the feminine. We can't make him see that, but it's something that we need to be aware of is happening right now, because it's going to turn up the tension knobs, so to speak. My advice would be to be the observer in these situations and just watch. I guess the saying is always actions speak louder than words, but in this case, it's just going to be a lot of mumble jumbled messages. And so if you're looking for clear direction from the masculine, you feminine out there, you may not get that, and it may frustrate you to have these confusing, maybe even mixed messages, and watch him kind of navigate through his own untruths or incongruency. This full moon, I do feel will pull us into balance more, including the masculine who's kind of unaware of it. Feminine, you're going to be more aware of it. This is about how you can reconnect with yourself in a more authentic way, get in alignment with the role that you want to play in your relationship. Okay, so that's being highlighted. It's also about like where you want to be independent and where you want to be connected. And one thing I want to show you is that there may be places where you're asserting your independence that you really don't need to be. It may be the result of a false masculine expression. So, for example, let's say you can't receive help from the masculine because you're too stubborn and because you think it's weak if the feminine receive the help or take the help. So say you needed to move something, or you needed something done at your house, or you needed your cable hooked up, or I don't know what. And the masculine is going to assist you or offers to assist you. And you go, no, 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 I've got it. That's that resistance. Watch where we resist. Watch where you resist. Is that independence? This is the time to ask yourself, is that really independence? Because that really is old beliefs. That really is old wounds that are keeping us stuck in these false masculine patterns where we're unable to slip into our, let's say, receptive mode. And so that those old wounds could be, a father that wasn't there for us, mother that was in single mother survivor mode that we sort of mimicked, or maybe we didn't have the parents to turn to or the support to turn to, and we had to be the survivor from an early age or had to be independent. Maybe we didn't have the emotional support that we needed, and this is ingrained in us now. So now it's difficult to receive the help. That could very well be. So we're being asked to look at this and ask, is that independent? Or is that old beliefs, stubborn, false masculine behavior? For most of us, I think the truth is that it's the old patterns, it's the old things that we're chained to. And if we can try to make the shift to even try to be in the receptive mode, to try to accept the help or the assistance, and releasing that old belief and trying that on for size of how that feels to release that resistance, that really may be a game changer for some of us, okay? And then ask yourself, what is independence? Where do I need to actually be more independent? Usually we're going to find that the true independence is about aligning with our truth, getting on our soul's purpose. Where are we, aligning with ourselves so that we can forge our path and follow the lights along the journey, everything that's lighting up for us. And where are we trying to control things that we can actually just surrender and allow things to happen? Because that's going to create independence and freedom. Where are we chained into old beliefs and things that have held us back? Or where are we standing in our own way? Because that releasing those things is going to give way to our independence. So ask yourself, what is independence? What is freedom? What is liberation? Is it really about going it alone? Or is it more about aligning with your truth? Is it really about surrendering? Is it really about just being free? Because I think those questions are really important, and we may have a very, very mixed view on what independence is. And also look to the areas in your life where you may be codependent, right? Where you're leaning on someone too much, whether it's financially or emotionally, or feeling like if this doesn't happen in the twin flame dynamic, I'm going to not be okay. Remember, keep reminding yourself, everything is in alignment, everything's working out, and I'm going to be okay. And that's another place where we can break the codependent bonds and find that true independence. And I want to remind you that your independence is going to come from alignment with your truth, surrender, breaking the old patterns. That's like breaking out of jail, like getting out of like those chains that bind you. Sometimes we see that 8 of Swords card or the Devil card. I'm going to pick a couple cards while I talk about this right now. And one just flew out, so let's just see. Okay, so King of Swords is here. And let's see. Yeah, the Empress is coming up, and this is about getting into your divine feminine power. She's coming through in reverse. This is really getting out of that, taking the sword out of your hand, getting harnessed in your divine feminine power. We are really being called to do that. So this is also about expansion. So I think it's like looking out to the horizon, letting go maybe of what's comfortable and familiar so that we can expand further. And this too feels like codependency to me, or using something as a crutch, or look to those places in your life where you may be leaning on something too much, whether it's a false sense of security, a person, like emotional security in a relationship, because only you can give yourself the security, both in terms of like financial abundance and emotional security. And that's going to help you let go of that crutch so that you can spread your wings and truly embark on the expansion that's going to be really just exploding for you. I feel like the next 6 months or so could be a huge opportunity for expansion, but we've got to get out of our comfort zone. We've got to let go of the codependent behaviors. And that's really going to help us. And yeah, and that's saying abundance is coming, okay? So it's like when we do that, we're going to have a lot of connection. This is what I've been talking about, connecting with others and abundance. It's all about us finding that flow. It's releasing the fear too, okay? That's going to help us find our independence. So that's part of surrender. And then we've got the Chariot, which is all about forward movement, okay? And that's what this is talking about. We're talking about moving forward, expansion, letting go of what's holding us back, letting go of what's been weighing us down, and finding the truth that's going to set us free so that we can expand and move forward and progress. Also, I'm feeling like something's going to come up for the feminine about her soul's calling, and it's gonna speak very loudly to her again. So she's heard the calling before, she's hearing it even more now, and you're being called through this Aries full moon to take action with it. It's a good time to take action. This is what this movement card is about. Take action on your soul's purpose, on your soul's calling. If you already are, take it to the next level. If there's been an idea brewing, act on it. If there's something that you let go or felt disappointed about in terms of your soul's calling, go revisit it now. You're going to have a new way of doing it that's going to be even better. They're just saying, don't even think about it, just do it. Like action. Things are going to manifestation will be there, but it's not even about the manifestation. It's just that you're going to have the movement to do it. You're going to have the inner energy, and that inner energy is coming from finding your independence. Remember I said your independence could also be linked to soul's calling, soul's purpose. Very important. And so for the Knight of Wands is also coming up underneath, and this is like no knee-jerk reactions to things. When we can get out of our own reactive behavior and get more in alignment with authenticity, that's when this real forward movement happens. When we're doing the old behavior patterns, it's cyclical and it feels like knee-jerk, in, out, back, forth, hamster wheel, right? And we don't want that. We want to, this is about releasing old fear, old patterns, the things that have held us back, and the reactivity. Okay, that's usually from fear or not being balanced from within in terms of the inner masculine and feminine polarities. So the bottom of the deck, it's always here. And that's where that false expression comes from, that fear of being left out in the cold, the fear of abandonment. They're saying right now is the time to be fearless when it comes to balancing your inner polarities, letting this go. Try to take the risk. Take the risk, they're saying. Take the risk even if it's just an experiment, because I feel like what you're going to find is the risk of maybe getting hurt or maybe having, being left or being abandoned or whatever it is. If you let go of that fear and you let go of the false masculine expression of these fears, you're going to find abundance, connection. You're going to find expansion, independence, and forward movement. Okay? And this is, again, reminding us, get rooted in your divine feminine. Really like those cards. So let's see. So I'm going to pull some of the past life cards. So we'll do both for the feminine and masculine. Perfect card, because I was just talking about where are you imprisoned. This is about the freedom. Remember? We were just talking about freedom. Where can we break the chains? Where have we been imprisoned? Where have we been keeping ourselves locked up? Time to take the key. We've got it. It's in our back pocket. Take it out. Put it in. Let yourself out. It's getting away from all this fear-based thinking. Okay? And they're saying stuff, again, maybe coming up around the father wound, and I feel like it's for both the twins. Both the twins are, a lot of this abandonment stuff could be stemming from this. So interesting information here. And then for advice cards, I'm going to pull some of the Angel Therapy and Ascended Masters cards, just a few for us to validate the messages. Okay, follow your heart. So follow your heart is get out of your head space. Get out of that false masculine. Listen to what your heart is saying. Okay, and they're also saying to balance your career and home life. And it's not just, remember, we're talking about balance. This is also balance the part of you that goes to work and balance the piece of you that is domestic. Balance the piece of you that takes action in the world and balance the piece of you who is receptive. Balance your spiritual work and all of those spiritual things that you love to do and that ground you. Balance that with what you have to do in the world to, make your means, your responsibility, your living, your family, all of your obligations. How do we find this balance? And that's why we're in the Sun and Libra energy, Mercury and Libra energy, so that we can find this balance. And that's the opposing energy of the Aries full moon, taking action versus, how do we balance the being assertive with being receptive? How do we balance like going out in the world with really nesting at home and making our way out there, expansion, travel, all that? How do we balance that with, nesting and having a spiritual sanctuary and having a grounding practice and making our home our sanctuary? How do we find that balance? Okay, so we're being asked to look at that. And then from the Angel Therapy cards, get some out of the deck here. We've got, okay, so they're saying heal away addictions and release. And this is interesting because in my notes here I have, know your emotional needs is one of my notes. And it's like moving through dysfunction, addictive behaviors in relationships with ourselves, toxic patterns, things that are sucking too much energy. Really take a look at where we need to release those things. Okay? Releasing, heal away the addictions, whether that's addiction to a person. You could just be that codependency. This could be addiction to substances. This is a great time if someone is addicted to alcohol or drugs or pill or whatever it is, to seek out some sort of a 12-step or a rehab program, or to do some of the completion process work that Teal Swan offers. This is a great time to go to your healing. This is a great time to really look at, even if you don't have a substance addiction, where are we addicted to other things, whether it's technology or like I said, to a person, that codependency. And then we're being asked to release. And it says, work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you, or your purpose. And that is truly what we're being called to do right now. So I hope that is helpful for all of you. Don't forget to visit the website, theilluminguru.com. And for the first week of October, that's next week, all week next week, I'll be offering 40% off all services on the website. Put 40 off in the notes. And I look forward to working with you all, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.